All right, folks, welcome to the program. What are you doing?
Who?
Goddamn tapping on the mic, Brandon. What the hell are you doing? Okay, that's enough, Brandon. We can hear you. All right, so last week, in the aftermath of last week, we begin to see a structure unfolding of people getting mad at me. So this week we're not going to talk about anything in the news. I have some news articles, but I'm probably not going to talk about them. In the studio we have our good friend Franko with us today again. And
how's it going?
Going all right. Stuffing your face with a frickin' meatball sub again, aren't you?
Nope.
What are you stuffing your face with?
Your mom's vagina.
What? I don't think you can say that on the show.
You can say whatever you want to, baby.
Now here's something. This is an article I did get. Talking about this snow stuff that I talked about last week. We got a big snowstorm up here again, and this is something we were talking about last week. It's talking about how these plow jobs are not good, and they're lacking in staff, and they're lacking in money. Basically, they're saying they're not going to pay the plow drivers, and the plow drivers are like, then we're not going to do the 100% work. Listen, if it snows, you're going to get out there and you're going to plow, and you're going to salt the sidewalks, and you're going to salt the streets, and you're going to plow them, and you're going to shovel them. I'm tired of this. I live up here in the Northeast. For you people who don't live up here, you have no idea what it's like to watch a plow go down the street with the plow not on the road. And I got an email last week. I mentioned that if somebody has a plow on their truck or pickup truck, put it down. I was told for insurance reasons they can't do that. Well, tough shit on the insurance. I mean, really. Tough shit on your insurance, buddy. Put the plow on the road and get that salted and get that plowed. God, I can't stand it. We get snow and nobody wants to plow. Nobody wants to do a damn thing. Franko, are you playing on that goddamn game over there again you brought this week? You did that last week, too. You bring this game in here and you sit here and play on it. I don't get it. What is so important about that damn game? Jesus.
Get a fucking PS4, dude.
I can't get a PS whatever. What the hell is a PS? A piss stream? Is that what it's named after? A piss stream? Jesus.
Gas station.
Well, I don't know what it is. I'm not one of these video games freaks, and you guys are. I like to play Dungeons and Dragons, and what we're doing this week. Heroes Unlimited and Palladium system. To play Vampire the Masquerade. Can you have one of these goddamn interns go out and get me some fucking water so I can have a drink? Thank you very much. Thank you. Damn people want me to sit here. I can't wait till I get studio up and running. Maybe somebody. I'm going to do this show all on my own. The network has basically told me to go to hell, so I don't even know why I'm still here. And I'll be glad when I get my own thing going because I can do whatever I want. I can have water and coffee when I ask for it. You're going to bitch and complain because you're going to get me water? What an idiot. Anyways, I'm really pissed off about last week's emails. I'm really pissed off about how people thought I was a racist and asshole. But that's life, I guess, in media and entertainment. And I'm pissed off because the network doesn't want me. I'm pissed off because there's another show that's a lot right. Nothing's better than the Wild and Wacky Ways show, folks. This week on Franko and Brandon. And if Brandon... God damn, what are you doing? What are you doing, Brandon? Can you tell everybody what you're doing? Because they can't see you acting like a total... So,
You see here, I'm baking a cake.
Talk into the microphone. God damn, you're sitting 3 feet away from the microphone playing with something. Nobody can hear you. This is a live show, dude.
I'm baking a cake with my mind.
What?
I'm baking a cake with my mind.
You keep banging on the microphone. I don't know what Franco's doing. He's over there playing a game when he's supposed to be sitting there talking to the folks. God, I have a wonderful frickin' crew here. It's like a goddamn morning show, for God's sake, we're running here. The hell. Anyways. I got a news story here. Talking about police departments becoming accountable. Found it online. Now this is a grading system. It's made up, and New York State is ranked pretty high on not having complaints or dealing with complaints. But it's basically going through here saying stuff that they talk about. The officers have to go through, grading them on call responses are low. I guess an overall average. They're up 83% are good marks for them. It's just something pretty interesting in the wake of all this bad police stuff we got last week, and in the middle of this week. I mean, the papers were just all over stuff. That some of these marks are 97% on emergency call responses. View has that stuff. Then that's in the rankings. Just in the wake of stuff that's happening and doing. So that's always something that we like to follow. I don't know. Maybe I'm getting famous for this stuff about police officers and stuff. I've asked for 2 of my friends to come on, and they're afraid to come on. One of them is not allowed to talk to the public. They didn't want anyone talking to the public. Frank told us the last time he was on about how his city's officers are really, really mean at night. And that thing, that report there shows that night activity is on a 40% margin compared to the day activity. That's on a 70% margin. And the number of calls versus night versus day, nighttime calls are more of what they call stress-related calls. People, alcohol use, fighting. Day calls are more accidents, traffic stops, more of a less violent nature. But that whole article is very interesting. There's about 3 parts to it there, but I only read the basics. I gave you in a nutshell. I don't want to get too far into it after last week. I'm going to have somebody write me an email this week telling me I'm a complete bastard or something. I seriously think I am. Wild and Wacky Wade at yahoo.com. 607-217-4667 is a phone number if you want to be live on the phone, but nobody ever uses the phone. So if the phone rings, Brandon, just pick it up and scream into it, and then hang up, because that's all they're going to do. All the phone calls we got last week is people screaming into the phone, which is just pretty annoying. Sometimes it's funny. Sometimes it is. So, Franko, since you like playing that piss-streamed game over there, actually it's called the PlayStation 4. I think it's the Xbox. I don't know what Xbox we're up to now. My friend has one. Skyrim and this Sonic the Hedgehog and Dr. Robotnik's game. And there's Golden Axe is on there, which is a great fantasy Dungeons and Dragons type game. So what are you actually playing on there? Or, you know, what do you play on there?
Right now, I'm playing Dragon Age Inquisition.
That thing's kind of small, man. You brought that in here with all the controllers, hooked it up to the TV. It's here. I mean, is that all? How much are those things? You told me to get one. Am I going to have to go out there and pay extra for something like the Xbox? Am I going to have to pay extra for something when I really don't need to?
I don't know. It's up to you, really. It's like, I really enjoy it. I do every day, and it's like, I don't grow out of it.
Yeah.
But, I don't know. Some people just don't like video games. They'd rather play RPGs, like D or whatever. I'm okay with that. I do that as well, but...
Well, I used to play
I like...
Grand Theft Auto, if that's still around. I used to play Twisted Metal. I do a lot of wrestling games. I like fantasy-related type things like Golden Axe.
Yeah.
My daughter's mother, every time
actually,
I go... Yeah, she plays Mario. I got a Super Nintendo. Does that count as anything? That's probably phased
that's
really
actually really cool if you know. I never had a Super Nintendo, and I always wanted one.
Yeah, I didn't grow up with one, but I got one. And,
yeah.
I mean, I didn't grow up with them, but my friends did. I'm more of an RPG player, but I can play video games. The thing I don't like about it is they're all made to lose. So no matter what you do, they're made to lose. That's why you got to beat them. And I don't really like things that are made to lose. I like, like RPGs, it's whatever you do, your decision makes for whatever. And you can change stuff. When we play Dungeons and Dragons, I can change stuff. I can make stuff. We can do whatever we want. Those games are a set platform. They're a set thing by a multi-million-dollar company that's making money off them. Every little thing you do, you got to pay for, I guess. And the phones are not ringing again. Maybe there's something messed up with these phones here, but I always thought them to be ringing, but they're not. So I don't even hope for a phone call from these people calling into the program. We're on YouTube. That's probably where you're listening to us, folks. We try to do the show live or pre-recorded for YouTube sometimes on Wednesdays and or Thursdays, depending on the schedule of the week. I like to do it on Wednesdays because when I had my own show there, I used to call it Wacky Wednesdays, and that's Wild and Wacky Wade show, Wednesdays. But nobody's called in. Nobody's tried calling in. And last week when they called in, they screamed into the phone. This is another relaxed week. After last week, with all the stuff in the news this week, and I'm telling you, there's a lot of stuff in the news this week. There's a lot of stuff going on this week that I'm not too sure about. I'm not even sure if any of this stuff is even legal. Screaming and yelling about stuff. However, I guess there's a full nother side of this story that I'm not really aware of, maybe. But this week has been outrageous in the news. And I just want to lay off the news. Interesting article here they just handed me. Talking about the IRS. The end of the year stuff. I don't even get in the IRS. Why are you handing me this? Alright. Well, I don't even get into it. Brandon, what's been going on with you since you decided to stop by today? What video game are you trying to play? I keep seeing you looking over Franko's shoulder there. Doesn't that annoy you, Franko? Somebody staring over your damn shoulder while you're trying to concentrate on something?
Nope.
Jeez,
Well, little things here and there. I haven't really had much time to play games, really.
Yeah. I was playing Skyrim the other day at my friend's house.
Well, you're full of shit.
You all know Gary, who tickles the clown. So I went over there, talk about something. And he wanted me to play Skyrim for a little while, or I did. It was on the Xbox there, so I just picked up the controller and started playing it. I like Skyrim because I can go around and do whatever I want. It's kind of like Grand Theft Auto. But they have these cabbages that you can eat and steal from people's gardens and stuff. And I guess I ate too many cabbages and my character threw up. It was just awesome. I make my character throw up. I've also made him drown one time. I decided to walk on the bottom of the lake. And all of a sudden he just floats to the top with a bunch of bubbles. I don't think you're supposed to do that, but, you know, what the hell, I don't care. So, alright, I'm signaling I gotta go on a break here. So, we're gonna take a little break. Why do we gotta go on a break now? Oh, I'm sorry, people pay for commercials, wow. Alright, I'm gonna take a little break. When we come back, we'll talk more. Find out more about this game he's playing. Maybe you have something that you want to talk about. Write us, wildandwackywade@yahoo.com, or you can call us on our number. I'm not even going to say the number. No one's going to call it anyways. So, we'll be right back. Alright, folks. Found something amazing. The person at the board just handed me. As Brandon stares at me, wondering why I want to talk about it. It says right here, it's working. Rising jobs market. 2 pages on this thing here. Amongst the other ads. It's something that we're seeing happening. And it's something to talk about. Jobs are out there. I can't get one.
Never can I.
Yeah, I don't get any sponsors either. But the jobs are on the rise. If anybody wants to comment in the email, it's wildandwackywade@yahoo.com. And the jobs that are in the market, they're talking about private sector jobs, which means the national companies kind of are hiring out there. I know for the season, Walmart, Target, McDonald's, Burger King, Wendy's, they're all on a rise in jobs. We know that for the holiday season. And then again, some of these jobs might be rising because people are realizing they got to go to work. That's always the argument, is that people honestly know they got to go back to work and going back to work, or are they going back to work because the jobs are there? It's just a plain huge argument. I never was on that job market argument. I do, however, realize that somebody out of college will get the job before somebody not. I also realize that they will hire somebody off the street before they hire military and veterans. I know that. And I also know, this is the horrible part of this, is probation or somebody right out of jail will get hired before somebody off the street, which, I mean, if you're a criminal, why should you just go out there and get a job? You've done something wrong. Yes, you paid your time, but still, somebody off the street who's trying to live normally and live healthy and live right is pushed over by somebody on probation or somebody coming out of the jail system. I don't think it's right, personally. I think that somebody that's been in jail, some of the services they give people are not right. I mean, for instance, if you've assaulted somebody or robbed somebody, why should you get a job before the person off the street that you could have robbed or hurt will get that job? It doesn't make any sense. Also in that thing, it's talking about 208,000 jobs. However, they may not be in your state, folks. If you're in a state where the jobs are low, it might not be there. This is a nationwide type, localized type thing. It's not something that's all over the place. Don't write me and tell me, or call in and tell me that I am wrong. Your state has no jobs. I understand that, and I understand it's hard. I understand that everybody's suffering. I don't like the word suffering when talking about jobs, because I know people out there are lazy and don't want to work, and I know there's a lot of people that are working that don't like their jobs, and there's nothing to go to other than what it is. And I also know that I've discussed this many times on the show, that many people go to work for the benefits, and I also know that a lot of the jobs are not paying what they should due to the market. And don't blow that smoke in my face, goddammit, Franko. Use the goddamn ashtray you're supposed to, too. Don't dump that shit in my coffee cup again. That wasn't funny last time. It's not funny. I'm trying to talk about jobs, and here you're dumping ashes in a coffee cup again. Get a real ashtray. I got 2 of them over there. And if you don't, ask one of these wackos here in the studio to get you one. God. Somebody get Franko an ashtray. Thank you. All right, back to the jobs now. The jobs.
The interns are really doing good.
Yeah, the jobs here are. I don't know really what to say, because I'm not a job expert. I'm not one, obviously. Take a good look at me. I might want to sit down in an interview and somebody say, "Yeah, we love you. We're gonna hire you." Woo-hoo. Yeah, right. I know what kind of job I'd like to do. Maybe driving. Or back in the show business, you know. But that's not out there anymore. Many people can watch wrestling on TV. Why do they want to go to wrestling? Why do people want a fanfare over a nice show when they can sit home and watch something? Or watch it over the internet or something? I realize that. But if you are at a job, if you are seeing the wages rising, how long will it last? They did rise. McDonald's is now paying $8 to $9 an hour here in New York State. National 8 across the board. We're not talking the city and stuff. I know other states don't have a minimum wage. Our minimum wage, I think, is $7, $8 an hour. Some businesses have pledged to $10 an hour. But that doesn't help when your grocery bill is $20 and you're getting a few items in your grocery cart. It doesn't help when you're being paid $10 an hour and rent is just taking your full month's paycheck. It doesn't help when the company only gives you 4 hours a week to work. And I'm serious. I know some people out there that are working 8 hours in a week. They work 2, maybe 3 days at 3 hours a day, 4 hours a day. I'm not kidding when I say these lower wages. What used to be a full 8 hours of work is becoming 4 to 6, 4 to 5 hours is a part-time work now. Some places are doing 3 to 4 hours, and they're only paying bare minimum. So some of this paper and what it's talking about is fine. The jobs are there, they're working, they're getting hired. But what are they paying? It should say the jobs are now paying the average is $10 to $12 an hour. And now I think as of 2015, $12 to $15 an hour would be what it would be to be for somebody, the average person, not rich, not really poor, the average person. $12 to $15 an hour to meet a standard to live good. And I've focused my attention on this many times, and I'm also on the side of the business too. Why should I go out there and pay somebody $10 an hour that does only a $4 an hour type job, and their work ethic is horrible? My family and me, Franko and Brandon too, I know their opinion, is if you're going to work and give them 100%. So if they're paying you $8 an hour, you're going to work $8 an hour. If they're paying you $10 an hour, you're going to work $10 an hour. You're not going to slack off. You're not going to act like an idiot. If you only got 4 hours on the job, you're going to do the most you can in 4 hours and give them the best you can. And a lot of times those kind of people don't really last. I don't know why. I have a good friend that lost their job, and now she's going to school for something else. And people that are in her field don't give 100%. And it kind of pisses her off really bad. And it's a prime example of, okay, the job's there, but maybe the business isn't paying because no one's doing the job they want them to do. So I'm in the middle. I really am in the middle. I've never really had a job where I worked for myself, but I've worked as an independent contractor, so to speak. I tried cab driving. I've told stories about this many times. And there you're trying to do your own type thing. And a lot of times I would see a fluctuation in the business. I'd see a fluctuation in time. I'd see people slacking off while I'm out there working 15 hours a day. Or maybe even some days I'd work 24-hour shifts 2 days a week. And other people didn't even want to sit there for 4 hours and work. They wanted to go home right away. They wanted to get off right away. They don't want to do this. They don't want to do that. They don't want to help the customer with the groceries. They don't want to do this. They don't want to do that. And here the bosses are paying. I mean, I lost more money than you can think of. 607-217-4667. We want to hear your opinions. We want to hear what you want to talk about. We want to hear that you're listening to us here on YouTube. Right now we're on YouTube. We're looking to go live on another network. We'll have more answers for you next week on that. Google Plus Hangout is what we're trying to use, but it's not working. A lot of it's not working. A lot of it's not accessible for people. So we're trying to find out if a live stream is going to work. Daily Motion and Vivo just doesn't do it right. Vimeo, I have to pay for. Blog Talk Radio, we're looking a little bit into that. We're not sure. The structure isn't right. The network systems doesn't like me being on there. And now that the network has just totally told me no, an absolute no, I will be doing more negotiations on that one because I just think something's up. I think that something can be solved. Like I said, 40% of it's me, 50% of it's them, and 10% is both of us not working together, which I will admit that. And maybe it's the sponsors. Maybe it's something that I'm not aware of. I'd like to have sponsors on this show. Supposedly YouTube here, if you like the show, you can donate. I don't know if that's coming up or not. You're supposed to be able to donate on there. You're supposed to be able to contribute some money to your favorite channels. They call them channels up here on YouTube. If you're listening to this on another network and you go to YouTube, you'll see what I mean. Maybe you're not on YouTube listening to this. I do have this posted through my Facebook. Maybe a friend shared it, and that's your first time listening and don't really know the story of what happened. I'll give you a brief rundown. I was on a network. I had some words to say about some stuff that was happening. And we also had some stuff about the show times. Now, I like being on certain times because it's peak time, it's peak hours. People listen, people don't listen. And I want to be on there. So they put me on a good time slot. Well, somebody complained about something. And then that got somebody else angry, and I decided to come on the show and speak about it and tell them that I was pissed and stupid and how idiotic they were. And the only thing I miss about the network is that guy with the sunglasses on staring at me as I come into work every night. But, so, sometimes you got to use their studios, sometimes you don't, like here. And what I'm doing is trying to get into my own home, so I don't have to do this. I can have my own stuff, do whatever I want. There is some rules, borderline stuff we respect. But in a nutshell here, I argued with them, they argued with me. In the place of arguing, they decided to play power. The power game. Their boss, fine. Their ruling, fine. Their way, fine. And I got pissed at it, and I mouthed off again. Which I got emails and letters, and people on Facebook agreed with me that what was going on wasn't funny. So I left. I went to another network. That network, I decided to say this is this and this, and I said, no, not that. I'm not going through that again. I'm not going to do that again. And so they said, then you're not here anymore. But I was giving them sponsors. I was giving them advertisers. I was giving them people listening every week. The one network that I started with my other show, Franko mentioned it, the Paranormal World, I was getting 3,000 listeners a month, which is pretty damn good. And we would do live shows. We would do live things. The Wild and Wacky Wade show went over there. That show was doing excellent. That network got bought out. So here I am with no network. 3 networks. One gets bought out. One had problems with it. And then the other one, I really don't know what happened recently. Again, 60% of it was them. Or 50. 40%, 30% was me. 20% is up in the air. I have no idea what happened. But anyways, I'm here on the YouTube now. You're listening to me live here on YouTube. Or maybe you're listening to me on Facebook. Or maybe somebody shared the video, whatever it is. And so I'm going to stay where I am for a little while until we can get this negotiated next week. And when I say negotiate, I mean me on the phone with somebody talking to them, trying not to get mad. And they're going to listen to the show. I know they are. And I'm trying to be respectful. Trying not to call them a frickin' idiot. Because that's what they're doing. They're being an idiot with their decisions. So that's it in a nutshell. And I'm not going to say any more about it. I've spoke about it before. I complain every week about it. Because I get an email every week asking me what's going on. What's the updates? I should put the updates on YouTube. I should just show them the stuff. The email telling me that my show is not high ranking. Tough, it is high ranking. I do this show every week. It's high rank. If I wasn't high ranking, Franko and Brandon wouldn't be here with me. I know Brandon wouldn't take time out of his day to sit here with me if I wasn't high ranking. Sponsors and all that stuff, that's not my problem. I've said this before. You're going to get sponsors and advertisers. It doesn't matter if I'm on or not. Those people are going to come to your station because you're reaching them. And how do you reach people? You get somebody like me that talks to millions and millions of people out there in the world. And I am worldwide on YouTube. I'm worldwide on their network. They're on the internet. So I don't understand why you're going to blame the host. Why you're going to blame the person that's putting on the entertainment, that's talking, that's doing what they're doing, their job. Their job is to talk, entertain, come up with stuff every week. I'd like to go every day, but I'm not here every day in the studio. So that ain't going to happen. So once a week I come up here, I yell, scream, holler, and bitch. And people don't want to do it. Right now, as I speak, tonight's show that we're airing, we're trying to air live. Google Plus just killed us last week and this week. We're not having any luck with the network we're on, so that's done. Earlier today, we had a few people in and out this chat room. But it's just ungodly. It's just not working. Something's the matter with it. I don't know what it is. But 3 shows in a row, it doesn't work. And here I am ranting about this stuff. No one's going to do anything about it. But you, the listener, can do something about it by keeping your support of my show up here. So, wildandwackywade@yahoo.com. The phone number if you ever need it is 607-217-4667. If you want to be a part of the program, which the phones haven't worked, which just irritates me. And then when I get it all, the phone number is mine. So I forward it, and then I forward it back and take the forwarding off. So I'm actually paying for the number. I'm paying for my microphone I speak into. So when it's all in my house, I'll be paying for it all. And it's going to come down to that. And Franko's moving around. So what we're going to do is go on a break. And when we come back, me and Franko are probably going to talk about something. I don't know what he wants to talk about. We'll be right back right after this. All right, Franko and I agree on this one. We're back. Masked Marvels, it says at the title. El Rey's Lucha Underground. I heard about this. Lucha Libre style wrestling. And everyone knows I'm a good wrestling fan. So, this Lucha Underground. I saw stuff on YouTube about this. Promos and everything else. I started watching the show. The show is pretty good. Lucha Libre. It talks about American television. It's coming to American television. El Rey Network. It came on October 29th. And it's his dream come true. Aerobatic, fast-paced, high-risk combat. All of these things are here to describe network here of El Rey. Not sure. I think El Rey's a good person. Not really sure on his background. But I've only heard two things wrong about it. One, its storylines are odd. Well, it's Lucha Libre style wrestling, folks. It's something that's new. Something that something like this becomes big, and something of this material comes into play. You have to realize anything new, anything odd, anything different than what's normal is going to have something at first. But so far, we've heard good things about it. And it's an incredibly diverse network. And they're wonderful wrestlers. And talks about it. It's wonderful how these matches are done. The athleticism, the aerobatics, ground. It may in fact be an wrestling fed, if you will. It's high in numbers. You can watch on YouTube. That's where I first saw it. On the network here. Watch online. I think it's wonderful that it's there. If anybody's listening that knows more about it, let us know. Because I would like to know something about the wrestlers. There's not very much about it on wrestlers. To me, it's fast-paced, wonderful to watch. I've watched the Libre-style wrestling independent shows thousands of times, and it's wonderful. It's great. It's there. It's in-your-face type bit of action. We're getting a bad storm here. All these bleeps and stuff, maybe talking about the warnings, so I hope nothing messes up for us here. Every time I do the show, we got a snowstorm the last time I was talking. It's December. Why are you worried about the storms? Anyways, Underground, get up there and watch. I recommend it very highly to everybody. I want everybody to watch. I want it to be the thing. Anything new in professional wrestling, I like to back for a little while. But this is something to watch and enjoy. Franko's here with us again. What'd you do? Lose on the game and quit?
No, I just wanted to pay more attention to your show, so.
Oh, okay. So you're going to come over now. So, how much are those games playing? Large priced? Remember that one game by WCW? I forget what it was called. That had Lucha Libre in it. Speaking of Lucha Libre, it had Rey Mysterio Jr. in it. It had Ultimo Dragon, La Parca. What's the other guy's name there? Mil Marcaris. I forget their guy. Phantasmo. There are a few other ones. That's what I remember. WCW, World Championship Wrestling, before the World Wrestling Entertainment bought it, used to have a lot of that style wrestling in it. Psychosis, that's his name. He was. That's the guy I'm thinking of. See, I can picture his outfit. I can picture that spinning move for the ropes and jumping around turnbuckles there. Psychosis, that's the guy's name.
TW stands for We Can't
What is
Wrestle,
it?
right?
What'd you say?
I'm joking, dude.
I don't even know what you said. What'd you say? All right. Well, I didn't even catch what you said. So, the snow is coming down across our way. I don't know what's happening. The system looks starting to fail a little bit. So, if there's interference, it's because I hope it's not the case, though. I hope everybody's getting it right. I hope nobody has snow. Don't think of it. I hope anybody that does have snow out there is keeping warm. Plows in other areas. Had an email break that somebody agreed with us. Last week I talked about it, and the email was talking about last week's thing on how they agreed that this plow system, now that we're on the subject, I'll talk about it. Their plows as well slack up a lot. It's concerned with equipment. Equipment is upkept. Equipment is sometimes not up par. And I wasn't thinking of that when I bitched last week. I ranted and raved about our roads. Because some of these roads are completely clear. Others are just absolutely atrocious. Just absolutely fun to deal with. Absolutely a pain to deal with. Others. And I didn't know about equipment. But isn't that a budget and a money thing and all this stuff to do their equipment? Don't they get grants for this? I don't understand it. I don't understand much of it. This week's show, again, I wasn't going to rant and rave about the news, and I didn't. We didn't rant and rave about the news, but I will rant and rave about the snowplow. I'm looking at the window here. And he has a plow down, no salt. There's one behind him salting, so maybe they're plowing. But you can hear it banging and doing all that. I don't know what's hitting when they bang. They do. Maybe you can hear it. I don't know if you can hear it. I can hear it. Loud. And he's banging on something. Maybe it's the curb. I'm not sure if it is or not. But now he's gone. So that was a play-by-play of the plow that started with plow down and now has it down. And the salt truck went the other way down the street. Now it's turning around on the street. So not only does it turn around in the middle of the road, what it does that for, I don't know. But now it's going back down when it could have continued down the road. That's your salt by salt, plow by plow play. I don't know. Did they do that bad job in where you are, Franko, where you came up from? I mean, back home, did they do that shitty of a job?
On the road, like the big roads, it's hugely clear, but the back roads, like smaller roads,
Yeah.
They keep up with it, but they're not great.
I see. And traveling, that's going to be shitty for you traveling back. But that's part of business, and it's part of being here in the studio. I'm going to come up with a way where once I get my own studio, once I get it fixed, I'm going to have a way, folks, for people to call in or be online. Guests. 2 of our guests called off last week. Last month, in fact. Pissed me off. You schedule yourself to be on the show. We promote you, and then you shit on us. Which brings me out to an interesting topic of people should keep their word. I do. We have to with stuff that we're due. Places I'm seen at, things I do at. A lot of you don't want to do that. Well, people are going to have to do it. People should. Because I am tired of having to cancel guests because I don't want to talk on the show. Now, if you know the show is shitty, like it, or I said something wrong, still come on the show and don't make a big fucking deal about it. It's a show, for God's sake. I speak my mind on this show. Everybody knows that. That's what I'm known for. I don't speak my mind very much off the show, but maybe. Classified ads are here. Sort of Iowa. Classified here. Dealership here has a big Christmas ad. He probably spent a lot of money for that thing. But that's about it, folks. This week's show has been quite calm. Another plow going by. Play-by-play is plow has to plow down the road. Back into something again. Now he's lifting up and salting. Now he's going down the street with the plow down around the corner, leaving a bunch of snow in the middle of the road. I don't understand it. Maybe one of you, if somebody plows out there or works for one of these companies, maybe they can explain to me why you plow like you do. Because I would think the plow would have to be on the ground, in the snow, being pushed forward, out of the way. So let's see what we're doing when we're talking about this stuff. And I hope it doesn't mess my show up. I hope this weather's not messing up the transmission of my show being live somewhere. Or maybe you're listening to it that something thing. Maybe it's messing up the internet connection. I have internet here sometimes for pre-recorded stuff. Maybe you're listening to it over the internet. It's messing it up. But I'm hoping a lot of times it could be the case, and it could run into trouble. There, so I didn't even say he left. During our break,
he left in the last break.
Yeah, he's got an early morning routine, so he had to talk to everybody next week. Next week I should get something better. I should get those phones working. By next week, we will have that negotiation with the network. Either that, or I will be here with more features for you, doing stuff better. Because it's been almost 2 months we've been up here, maybe more time. But I just haven't been on network. I've had to follow rules. I've had to do all this stuff. It says I couldn't share stuff and air stuff and have anybody I want with me doing it. I myself, when this network agreement doesn't work out, not only am I going to be pissed, but I may, it was suggested by some of our listeners, fans, or what I call them, that I just do it myself. But I don't got enough money for internet. That's sites and stuff. Like, if you're listening to me here on YouTube, pass them. I'll see you next week. WackyWay.com. If you want to email me, I'll see you, folks.